I've won many things I've done, but this one here, this one takes the cake. I've won many things I've done, but this one here, this one takes the cake. Compliments on my accomplishments are only possible due to your involvement, volume, level, and confidence. The consequences stimulating your consciousness, activating the cognitive structures. I think all you motherfuckers still play a vital role in my conquering. The combination of confrontation and patient is population. The conversational astonishment, consuming the comments and the evidence of the vine get it. I'm a listener, some monstrous underneath your posturepedic, possibly in the closet. It's a necropolis, scary how I'm optimistically obstinate. Ain't no domino in my dominance when I'm dropping this Janis Joplin droplets. It sound like the apocalypse mixed with Christopher Wallace's topics on top of obelisks. It's a kabbalist novelist inside of my esophagus. Rhyme is priming, it's optimist and tastes like this one takes the cake. This one takes the Chocolate cake for dinner, birthday cake for breakfast. Slice it like a ninja. Pick up all the pieces, assemble like Avenger. Altering is August, wordplay is December. Then me, my pen is in cinders, and my deliverance shivers like Siberian area shippers. Slip on the slickest icicles, drip from the tip of my scriptures. If you a ship on the trip, don't hit on the tip of my glacier. Swim with the fish and flippers. I finish my pictures. This is what didn't get it, getting hitting the different differs. What did he do with it? Didn't she? Who are you mentioning? Louis do a dual identity, dueling enemies. Do it to him, chewing through him without doing it dentally. Superhuman fluent without refueling engines with energy. This chemistry can it be? They googling endlessly. Even computers losing memory, bending mentally when they interface with the lyrical ability. This one takes the cake. I've won many things I've done, but this one here, this one takes the cake.
Testing, testing, testing. This rivalry has been brewing for a long time, and it spills over tonight at the CompuBox Academy. I'm Todd Grisham, and watching this live with me is Johnny Nelson.
It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody around the world.
Here comes the Roy Jones Jr. He won world titles at 4 different weight classes, including the heavyweight championship of the world.
As soon as the bell goes, don't blink. That fight could be over.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Brooklyn, New York, introducing an acclaimed 2-time middleweight champion of the world, known as the Miracle Man, Daniel Jacobs. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Pensacola, Florida, here is a middleweight, a super middleweight, a light heavyweight, and a heavyweight champion of the world, Roy Jones Jr.
A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Now it's time to put up or shut up this one. You can't imagine how bad these fighters want to get their hands on each other. Misses with the jab. And so far, the offense has been better than the defense. What a pleasure it is to be here in this environment. What a venue for this showdown.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for a big crowd. And looking at corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Nice counter shot. There's a counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. A perfect counter lands. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to go down? Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
They exchange punches. By the way, the connect percentages have to be off the charts. Sometimes when you're fighting a counter fighter, the rounds can get a little boring. You get trigger shy because you know if you throw a punch, one is coming right back at you.
They have got great ring IQ. Counter punches are the best.
What skill being displayed here between these two middleweights? Nice counter shot. Nice counter punch right up the middle. How about that time counter shot? Good counter punch. Beautiful counter shot. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. That counter punch caught him clean. Talk about Jacobs in that last round. They've got the momentum. They've got the advantage. Here we go for round 2. Last round, complete domination. Let's see what we have in store for us here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round. Everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
someone tell these two that they can be defensive for a minute if they want to. Counterfighter relies a lot on their instincts and reaction time. You've got to get in there quick to punch your opponent before he gets his fist back to block.
You're fighting a counter puncher, you've got to dummy a shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counter punchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
Both men step back for just a moment. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Those counter punches have to hurt. Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than I do.
Should we be surprised if these two fighters go the distance tonight, considering how much they've emphasized their physical fitness? Beautiful counter punch. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. I don't think it's going to be a boxing match. This is going to be a fight. Catch and shoot. That counter shot lands. You'd like to see more jabs. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Jacobs in that last round. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond. There's the bell to start round 3. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, I know it's still early on, but have you been surprised by anything you've seen?
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
A lot of effort being exerted here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Well, Johnny, it's still early on, but what do you think about what we're seeing so far?
Look back in the history books. Some of the best fighters in the world were the middleweights. Yes, the glamour division is the heavyweights, we know. But I'm telling you now, you look right there. These guys are on it. Fast, sharp, powerful. But it hurts, and you can imagine that being you. They're the size of an average man.
Some real good back and forth between these two fighters.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. They walk away from each other and then run right back into trouble. Going to punch himself out, though. A perfect counter shot. The old adage is no matter how much speed you've got, timing beats speed.
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Punch, counter punch. Well done with that counter shot. You believe what we are seeing. The counter punching. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go.
If he doesn't want to do it, real shit, he needs somebody else. We gotta figure it out after himself. It's fun, bro.
Talk about Jacobs in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
You can't leave it up to the...
You're smart when you go out. Spike, game with the fighter.
And there's the bell to start round 4. That round was complete domination. Let's see if we can shake things up here in this round.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. And he scores with the counter. Nice counter. Threw the left uppercut, but it misses. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Nice counter punch. And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Stamina is off the charts. Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. Good counter punching. Punch, counter punch. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Jab does not score. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing up and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Holding nothing back here in the round. They both want a highlight reel knockout. Well done with that counter shot. That counter punch caught him clean. Perfect counter. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Jacobs in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they... Back into the fray here in round 5. Coming off that great round, let's see if they can build on momentum here.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
That catching air. Do you believe this? There's a counter shot. Looking to land the hook. This fighter's sort of the death by 1,000 paper cuts approach. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you can land one.
I've never seen a fighter so fast in my life. How do you deal with this? You've got to hope they run out of steam.
Can they figure out the combination to this sink?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
The perfect counter lands. Beautiful counter shot. Just missing with the right uppercut. Nice job to block that uppercut. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. They are giving us a high-tempo show. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing them down. Catch and shoot. Off the charts action from both of these fighters. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Jacobs in that last round. Well, we know they've got the advantage so far, but
Go back out that and switch back.
here we go in the 6th round. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punching. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they stop this fight considering the swelling and the bruising. Yes, sir. We fight on here. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
You've got to ruffle their feathers, Todd. You cannot let them get comfortable, drag them, get them complaining to the referee, because once somebody with excellent foot speed and excellent power gets into the rhythm, the fight is over.
That jab misses. These two are the perfect dance partners.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Nice counter shot. Swing and a miss with the hook. These punches coming from every angle. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Middleweight always gives us a class. If you've got two class middleweight fighters, you are in for action. I'm quite sure right now, if you know your boxing, there's a certain fighter, I would just say marvelous, but some fighters were unbelievable middleweight.
You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Jacobs in that last round. After what we saw in that last round, it's pretty obvious who has the advantage. And there's the bell to start round 7. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Both men step back for just a moment. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. We're at the halfway point of this round, and both of these fighters have had their moments. Still could go either way.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
You'd like to see more jabs. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
This can be so frustrating when you're under such a fast fighter that can throw 3-4 shot combinations before you've even let one off. That creates frustration, and that's when it gets hard.
Just missed with that hook. Incredible work rate. Nice counter. That uppercut doesn't land. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Roy Jones. There's the bell to start round 8. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain.
Throws the jab, but it doesn't score. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
The middleweights are the best you can ever come across. Obviously, the glamour weight is a heavyweight, but the middleweight is the size of the average man or woman. When you get in there, and you're letting the shots go. You've got power, you've got speed, you've got pace. You can stand, you can dance, you can do everything. We can look back in history. Do you know the amazing fights at middleweight are ridiculous? That is what writes our history books.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. His stamina is off the charts. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. He blocks that right hook. Missed with that right uppercut. Well, we knew this was going to happen. Some taunting. Catch and shoot. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round.
They need to focus on what they do.
And there's the bell to start round 9. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. Because you know what you can do in the gym. You can do it in a fight. You've got to relax.
Might want to think of holding on here for a minute. That right jab just misses. Uh-oh, code red. Trying to buy time. It appears that the moment of trouble has passed, at least for now.
B-Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Tough to be a judge in this fight as both fighters have had their big moments.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Unlucky to miss with that jab. This fighter has been extremely aggressive so far, Johnny, but how do they keep it up over the distance of this fight?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tail. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
A perfect counter shot. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round.
Switch on. Switch on.
It's It's round 10. How much is left in their tank after last round?
What are they doing that now? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. When are we going to see a jab from these two? You've heard the phrase, finding a second win. I don't think I need to tell you which one of these fighters needs to find it.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
Both men step back for just a moment. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
Halfway through the round, I'm not sure who's winning it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
Catch and shoot. Cannot throw out a lazy jab in this fight. You'll get knocked out. They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Couldn't land that jab. Right hook just missed. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Roy Jones and there's the bell to start round 11. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
Missing with that jab. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
Let me explain to you about a fast fighter that's got hand speed and footwork. They're relaxed. They're confident. They know they just have to quick burst, boom. In a split second, they've let 4 shots go. Their footwork has got them out of the way. And these guys are so relaxed. And that's why they can maintain this all the way through a fight.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now, this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Like to see more jabs. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Didn't land that jab. Insane action. And they block the right uppercut. Can't land that jab. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt, despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Roy Jones in that last round.
He completely switched up.
Who thought we would have made it to 12? They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
When you have a fight that's got that great footwork and that great hand speed, it's so hard. It's an uphill battle.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Big swing and a miss with the hook. Just missing with the uppercut. As we enter the final frames of this bout.